I record on the external machines.
Yes, you've got your own your own tech.
You're a busy man, and I'm very appreciative of this. And you're going to join these. Probably get this out of the way immediately. Dr. Amir, I gather you're coming to a conference in December, and you're going to be joining a goddamn bunch of goddamn Yankees.
Well, God bless the Yanks.
Of course,
you gotta love them. They're an amazing bunch. When they don't misbehave, of course. I love the hell out of them. So it's going to be probably the greatest peak in my life in this incarnation to this point, joining yourself and these wonderful people. I want to discuss my interactions and experiences with the praying mantid species. Lots of people are having contact with them, and it seems to be on the rise. And there's an intention and a reasoning behind this. So I would like to go into more detail about who they are, what they do, what the nature of their interaction with humanity is, and where we're going from this point forward.
Well, that's very, very interesting, because I don't know if you've heard of a gentleman called Simon Parks. He, was it Mantis? Yes, he seemed to have a relationship with them. And
yes.
That goes back to a TV show we did 12 years ago, 14 years ago.
He's a true pioneer.
Yes.
One of the people that really did elaborate on their level of evolution or refinement, their extraordinary technology, their interaction with humanity, programming, teaching, but it goes a whole lot further. And so right about at that time, I became acquainted with Simon as I was having my first interactions with these beings. Initially, it didn't started very friendly, but things did change. So Simon is a true pioneer. I would like to honor the work that he has done. Usually in these areas, coming forward in this way takes a whole lot of guts.
Yes.
So I really salute the gentleman.
And that was a cutting edge show insofar they ended up making it a bit of a comedy. But I think that if it hadn't been a comedy, sort of, oh, look at these silly people and have a laugh, it wouldn't have got so much widespread. I mean,
Exactly.
It's huge.
Exactly.
A lot of people have seen that.
I think Simon is going to have the last laugh.
I think that's a very good point.
You know, and so information reaches people when they are called to find it. When you seek, you shall find.
Yeah.
And so I was one of these people. I found my experiences were matching what he was describing. But then over the years, over the past decade, I focused on very extreme and intense spiritual practice, opening me up to the Akashic records, but also liberating me from the confines of physicality. So remote viewing is one of the things that came on very early. That was my first interaction with the mantids. I wanted to look at the construction of the pyramids in Egypt with a specific focus. Is there any alien presence? So the criteria was I wanted to observe them at about 60% completion and then look around and see what's happening. Well, it turns out the Atlanteans that were actually building these structures, they knew exactly what they were doing. Advanced knowledge of architecture, geology, physics, beyond what we understand even at the present day. And I appeared right in the middle of a control room, belonged to the mantids. 3 of them were present, and their role was just observation. I shocked the hell out of them. After the initial shock, one of them basically jumped me, approached really fast. And so in my mind, I withdrew, came back into the body here and now, and then I thought, oh, hell, you didn't. I went back, and then their initial reaction when I had amplified my density 1,000-fold, so I became immune to whatever they were trying to sent me, they pled, please do not hurt our children. And I looked around, and there was a little hatchery in that command room. And so that was the beginning. Then later on, they became interested in me. They're usually interested in interesting people. And so they placed a little implant in the left side of my neck. I just recently got the residue out. I had a little surgery. And so from there on, I started interacting more deeply. As I gained more awareness, I learned more about them. They're incredibly ancient. And in fact, one of their pet projects is humanity. Lo and behold, these incredible beings are master geneticists and engineers, and they have reached a level where the natural death of a universe does not mean that they are going to go extinct. Now, this happened 23 universes away. So
Wow.
these guys are amongst the most ancient beings. And once you reach this level of evolution and technical finesse, one of the only things left to do is creating life. And so they became involved very, very early on, actually from the very beginning, with the guaranteed unnatural evolution of humanity. This is 350 million years ago. And carefully conducting sequences of experiments, each one lasting between 10 to 12,000 years. And so in our history, we've had cyclical extinction events, last one being the Ice Age, the flood, volcanic activity, meteors hitting. None of these are random. In fact, we've gone through roughly 30,000 of these extinction events. Each time, the best samples of humanity are selected, the rest are wiped out, and a new batch is seeded. Now, they're involved also in the invitation of other species into the domain of Earth, namely the reptilians, many species of greys, insectoids, the Anunnaki, namely the latest arrivals to Earth. It seems after a certain number of iterations, the physiological and energetic structure of the human was refined adequately. So then the focus became making humanity resilient to energetic and psychic warfare. And so they invited the worst of the worst from the entire cosmos, some from neighboring universes, to come in. Hey guys, come on, here's a party, do your worst. Now, lo and behold, we're at the end stage of this long 350 million year process, and humanity is ready. So we see this in many powerful and awakened human beings right now, but this is going to become even more pronounced with the new children coming in. Having worked in the education sector for many years, over a decade, I've seen lots of these kids, and these guys are tapped in. This is a beautiful promise for the future of our species. And so details about this, going into more minuscule details of the story and the process, and then, of course, interacting with our audience and answering questions. That's what I would like to focus on in our conference.
Well, I have to say, that is a wonderful summary in such a short period of words, which gives an amazing illumination and hope. It's not even hope, it's a leading light of where we need to go and why we need to do things and be responsible. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Me too. I'm getting goosebumps all over. This is precisely it, Miles. You see, there's so much going on right now in the mainstream, and it's all coming from a victim mentality. Oh no, they've done this and this and this to us. But the truth is, humanity is the cream of the crop. Being resilient, I mean, no other species has gone through the crucible of fire like we have. I mean, look at the last plague that affected the globe. Now we've reached herd immunity. Our immune systems, this is nuts. No species can do this. Or even look at the human body. You send astronauts into space. Within 2 weeks, the bone density starts changing. This resilience and adaptability is the purpose of the whole experiment. because there are certain domains, not just in this universe. Sometimes there are other universes where the prime creator, and so these are levels of evolution. Many of us will reach this pretty closely, pretty soon. The prime creator is new, and the prime creator messes up. The laws of physics are wonky. And so therefore, life doesn't naturally evolve. They need something like us. So we can be seeded across the cosmos to perpetuate life where life doesn't normally exist. We will not only survive, we will thrive. And so that is the purpose of this. Now, these praying mantids, they're like contractors. Earth is the enclosed experiment. They are the creators and the maintainers of the holographic reality, the matrix. Although there are many levels of holographic reality, parasitic matrices upon the baseline, but let's say the operating system, like you would have in a computer, the main fundamental baseline of reality is generated by the mantids. And so, of course, as you can imagine, maintaining this chaotic, multi-timeline, multi-dimensional experiment, the scale of it is mind-boggling. It would involve interaction with all these other species. I like to call them the frickin' pirates. Because they're now involved in a parasitic way with humanity, the extraction of energetic and chemical substances from the human. You may ask why. Well, the human has a mighty range of energy and emotion. This is very unique. And so the extracted material is then turned into potent narcotics that has given rise to a universal drug trade, very lucrative trade. And then, of course, this is one of the reasons that Earth has turned into the dumpster fire that it is. And of course, they have many human, let's say, employees, the foot soldiers, the enforcers. So we've got many of these darker secret space programs, abductions, you name it. All of this is basically upholding this universal drug trade and a negative empire. Many, many souls are entangled here. And so once we pop and we are ready to do our thing, the whole universe, but also other universes, because some of these species have come from a very long distance away, they'll be relieved from the suffering. It's an incredible story, and we're the hero. We're the one doing the hero's journey, humanity. There's so much beauty and glory waiting for us once we are ready. Now, the reason for the mantid coming into more, let's say, more knowingness from the human point of view is that the experiment is almost done. I'm talking about the next 150 years where it's going to be completely rolled offline. They're already setting up shop in the next universe. This version of the matrix and guaranteed unnatural evolution is the 24th iteration. They are so good at what they do, they never go out of business. They're already setting up shop for version 25.
Well, I have to say, sometimes I'd use this joke. The reason why the aliens are here is because this is the great wisdom of the fridge magnet. You must understand the fridge magnet is a great tablet of wisdom. There is one called Look Busy, Jesus is Coming, and it's gone missing from my fridge. And you try to get a new one. But seeking hallowed wisdom, the reason why the aliens are coming here is because it's the only planet with chocolate.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's a metaphor.
Oh yes, you know we're not just the result of this project. Even before humanity started off this long process, there were elemental beings, the original residents of Earth, and so we seem to have inherited their energetic structure. So the human has billions of years of evolution and wisdom enclosed within. Sometimes these species are facing extinction. They've gone down the path of cloning, and suddenly stuff doesn't work anymore. They come to Earth, and the human seems to be that glue that matches everything together. So hybrids, or let's say clones that would normally fail, you inject a little bit of human into it and suddenly the whole thing is viable. So that human structure, it makes the whole thing possible. The other thing that is really critical is Earth herself.
Yes. Yes.
Earth
It.
is a special planet. This
Yes.
is not something that you can find normally. Well, she first of all is a seed archetype, meaning making copies of her vessel, the Earth itself, gives rise to planets that have the capability to host life. But it's not just the presence of, let's say, chemicals like oxygen or hydrogen. It's not just air and water that is needed. There's a very complex energetic component to life. I like to see it in my way as a mystic connection to source. Evolution needs to be fueled by a certain energy, that ever evolving, ever growing complexity that is source energy. Now, usually this happens through the presence of very special crystals. I call them guardians. One guardian crystal, and these are in the scale of a, let's say, 100-story skyscraper. One of these can support the evolution of life, but then a planet with just one will have 4 species of plant life, and that's it. Earth was gifted with thousands of these. We've got millions of species of life, new ones emerging on the go. And so these crystals connect to each other energetically, giving rise to the ley lines or the natural energetic grid of the planet. So sometimes these hybridization projects from non-human intelligence, they want nothing to do with humanity. All they need is to come here, find a base, and do their thing. Earth will take care of it. So the location is Earth, and it seems that humanity is that cream of the crop. So we shouldn't be too concerned with the frickin' pirates. They're going to be gone soon. We shouldn't be too concerned with our lack of technology. These are only toys. Very, very quickly, we're going to assume our rightful place in the cosmos as teachers, as healers, as prophets, as guides for baby species, because we've been through this. So this is my message. It is human-centered. It is a message of the new golden age, hope, so much glory, connection to source, and having a hell of a time enjoying our lifetimes, doing what we do best, surviving and guiding.
That is immense wisdom, and it's I'm so this is I'm lost for words. I'm a man from Belfast, and I'm lost for words.
It's beautiful, Miles. And you know, initially when you come across the information, sometimes it's a little bit upsetting. Because it's like you're waking up in the middle of, let's say, open heart surgery, or they're doing brain surgery on you, and you don't know where you are, what's going on, and you look around. This is the structure of the matrix, and you may come into rage. What the hell are you doing to me? Why are you doing this? And then you understand that as a soul, you were aware. You see, there are 3 things. One is the body, these wonderful machines. The other aspect is the soul. Souls come in, they forget who they are, they forget their gifts, and they're exposed to a whole lot of hardship and trauma so that they can evaluate themselves. Do I have the capacity to forgive and demonstrate compassion? Can I heal myself? And then you get a medal. I survived Earth during the Dark Ages. Nobody can question your merit and strength. But then there's the interaction between the soul and the body. So a certain powerful soul coming into a body, that being has children, the gifts are passed on. So it's a very dynamic range. The body affects the soul, soul affects the body, and we've got these pirates who are sometimes interested in both the body and the soul. Many a time, the Mantis, this is where they lose their mind. We have beings coming in from a different universe, the soul codes, they're coming from a different prime creator. The soul codes are mind-blowing. They start salivating. They go, "Oh my God, my precious, my precious," and that's where the abductions happen by the Mantis. This is a violation of universal and divine law, of course. So they know they're going to be punished for it, but they still go for it. Oh my God, these guys, their manners, Miles, is awful.
Bad
They have
manners.
no understanding of boundaries.
So they don't know which fork to use on a dinner table.
Oh, it's much worse. You could be sitting on the toilet seat and suddenly they arrive. Here we go. Happy birthday. This is your gift.
That sort of extends a metaphor to a certain level. Yes.
You take it all the way. And so, but if people hearing this conversation, or people that are going to be joining this wonderful conference, have had experience with the Mantis, first of all, they're unique, very, very unique.
That's one of the reasons for doing it here, so that people of this part of the world can have an opportunity to meet and talk.
There's so much going on in the United States. Of course, it's a massive center for everything. Spirituality, disclosure. But we have to look at what has happened in this part of the world. All these ancient bases, ancient treaties, bloodlines. I mean, this is really where it started. Go back 300 years, this was the epicenter. So it's really worthwhile getting people come together, especially in the format that you've organized. It cannot be better. It's optimal.
Well, it's lights, camera, action, as they say. This is absolutely fantastic information, and it's a huge wham, bam, bam. But I know your time is short. How do you wish to proceed now?
Well, I just want to first and foremost honor you and thank you. I suppose you do not hear this frequently enough. Humanity owes you a debt of gratitude. Over the years, you have done something that is impossible. This takes immense integrity and valor. So thank you.
Well,
I'm
not too good at receiving compliments, but I'm graciously accepting.
It's coming from the heart. I would like to honor our forefathers, our ancestors who have made this possible. What I'm here to speak about is not to validate or invalidate anyone or anything. These are first-hand experiences and the result of my access to the Akashic records. So fundamentally, I'm a mystic. I'm just doing mantras all day long. And as a trade, I'm a healer. So this is really a personal testimony. There's no intention to convert anybody. I don't really mind if they believe or not. It's just another data point. And I ask people to use their healthy skepticism and natural discernment. And so match that with what they already know and make their own conclusions. Bless them. May they find their answer, and may they reach their utmost truth, which is that we are aspects of the beloved source in the most incredible bodies. And so all things moving forward, beautiful and positive.
That's one thing I absolutely concur with. Don't believe anything I say, just information. So it's when I said about the Americans, of course, I'm including Brad Olson, and he's not American. He's Danish. Or is he a Danish American?
But the wonderful Vikings.
Yes. And we hope to do a little bit of an alien base tour. And since there's no aliens in Britain, it's just going to be meet at the cafe and order 2 coffees. Because there's nothing happening here. We just move along.
The old Cold War spy movies, and it's all grey, and they're 2 gentlemen having coffee.
Yeah. With that Humphrey Bogart thing. Dr. Amir, I gather you're going to give these goddamn Americans a bit of a ride round Wiltshire and help out. Maybe there'll be conversations, maybe in conversations over certain fluidic distilled products. Who knows? but I don't know if you imbibe in any of that.
Took a while for me to process that. Oh yeah.
Yes, well, I'm trying to not say anything by not saying anything in a distinct horizontal way. So
Oh, yes,
I really welcome you to Wiltshire. Devizes is a Civil War town. There's some guy called Cromwell lost a battle here, and he then came down and tore down Devizes Castle into pieces. And so we do have a rebuilt castle. A lot of the place around here is like built in 1600, and we also have this ancient symbols from the gods. They're called crop circles. So we have a lovely crop circle exhibition centre here, and we have a lovely, I think it's called the Barge Inn. Surprisingly, the Barge Inn is beside the canal where you have barges. That's a connection there.
Wow.
And Avebury, and we also have Golden Ball Hill. And I wonder why it's called Golden Ball Hill. Maybe there's golden balls which come across. So there's lots of things to see. And then there's a bunch of stones when we were building the A303, which a lot of people, because it goes past so many military bases, people actually think it's called after the A303 rifle. No, it's the A303. It's the derivative of the A30. But somebody, they're obviously building a lot of, doing a lot of work there. So they just left a whole pile of stones on the side of the road and stacked up, and people think it's some kind of ancient thing, but it was just whatever they had left after building the A303. And Hugh Newman's house is right beside it, believe it or not. So that's all a bit of a thrill, and I'm having my obligatory afternoon with the beautiful Maria Wheatley, and she lives very close. She's speaking at the conference as well, and she's been a pain in the ass and disrupted and ruffled the feathers of English heritage and the National Trust. The feathers are ruffled because she says Stonehenge, this pile of rocks beside the road, were built by long-skulled people who came from Siberia. So she's ruffled a few feathers on that.
Well,
so it's all within the area where we are here, and it's a lot of nice, ancient, good old stuff.
It's beautiful.
And like any decent Wiltshire village, we've got our own brewery. So that's
amazing. Those locations that are really touristy, like most people go and visit, often you find that they are dormant or they're completely offline. And then other places that are not so well known, you'll find they're the ones that are still powerfully active.
Yes.
I really look forward to visiting. So this is going to be really amazing.
Thank you. Well, it's especially in the sweltering heat of an English winter. But then you're used to that.
Well, I've turned into a proper Essex boy. I lived in Colchester for years. So
oh my God, in it. Bloody hell, Dr. Amir, that's a hell of an admission to a say.
Oh yes.
Do the mantid beings know that? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll see Dr. Amir at the conference.